So MSNBC made a point that I have to respond to because it's going to clarify a lot of confusion going on right now about winning elections. So here's MSNBC. They're asking if Bernie needs the Democratic establishment to win. Check it out.
To this revolution time that both of you ladies are talking about, Don, let's look at what Bernie Sanders tweeted on Friday. And he wrote, "I've got news for the Republican establishment. I've got news for the Democratic establishment. They can't stop us." So this whole anti-establishment strategy, it's proven fruitful because Sanders has gained supporters here. But when it comes time to win the election, won't he need the so-called Democratic establishment?
Of course he will, and he's going to have the support of Democrats writ large who just decide to do the pragmatic thing and vote for the Democrat, or even just hold their nose and vote to get Trump up out of there, which is ultimately all of our goals.
Yeah, so here's why this is wrong. The Democratic establishment, those are the elites. Those are the corporatists. Those are the leaders. And nobody likes them. They're a paper tiger. That's what they are. So people keep conflating two things. They keep conflating the Democratic establishment and Democratic moderates, Democratic moderate voters. Totally different things. So here's a fact that we just learned, and it's very similar to a 2016 fact. In the Nevada caucus, Bernie Sanders won among self-described conservatives and moderates. Now, again, you're going, that makes no sense because he's on the left. There were other more moderate candidates. How could a moderate vote for a non-moderate when they had the option of a moderate? And the answer is people don't know labels. They call themselves whatever they're comfortable with calling themselves, but then when it comes to the specific policy positions they support and the candidates they support, that might not align with their view of themselves at all. So you got all these people out there who are like, flaming leftists who say, I'm a pretty moderate person, or I'm conservative. So here's the thing, guys, and this is what Bernie Sanders' campaign is all about. Bernie Sanders is trying to get every single voter that he could possibly get. There's a tiny group of people we call the TFGs on this show, the too far gones, and nobody who's a Democrat is ever going to get those people. They're just totally drunk on Sean Hannity or Rush Limbaugh or Steven Crowder or whatever, and they think Democrats are the root of all evil, and they're just too far gone. There's no getting through to them. There's no getting through to them. And by the way, I wouldn't even put all people who consume right-wing media in that category, because some are savable. But there will always be a small number that aren't savable, okay? Gone. But Bernie Sanders, the campaign, and even the message of this show, and I try to make this clear to everybody, one of my biggest points of pride is deconverting people. Their goal is to get anybody who is gettable. So what does that mean? If you're a Trump voter from 2016, do I think you're a bad person and a racist and a bigot by definition? Of course I don't. Of course I don't, because there's a million different reasons you could have supported Trump. You could have liked his anti-war talk and thought he was more serious about it than anything Hillary did, because Hillary's a known hawk. You could have liked his populist stuff on economics. It's not like you supported him because of he wanted nationwide stop and frisk and because he said the stuff about the Muslim ban or called, Mexicans criminals and rapists, and I assume some are good people. So there's a million reasons to support him. I don't think you are by definition a bad person if you supported him, especially because there are plenty of 2 times former Obama voters who flipped to Trump. If you want to say they're irredeemable deplorables, put them in the basket of deplorables and don't talk about them, well then congratulations on never winning again, because that's what's going to happen. You want people to get to your side. That's why it's always funny when people attack candidates who get crossover appeal. Like, oh wow, so you're against them trying to win? Is that what you're against? So here's who I want in the coalition, and here's who Bernie wants in the coalition. I want the Democratic base. I want that multiracial, multi-generational coalition of working class people. I want that Democratic base. I want people who are with us on the social issues. I want the hardcore lefties. I want the independents. I want the moderates. I want the self-described conservatives who want to come into the fray. I want the former Republicans. I want the current Republicans. I want everybody you can name except the TFGs who there's no hope for. If they want to change their mind, hey, by all means, you sign up for our agenda and we're with you. We're not going to sign up for your agenda, but here's what we stand for. If you get swayed by that, welcome in. So we want every single person we could get, and that's what they're doing. They're getting those people, which is why they won, which is why they hold the Democratic base, and they bring in new voters and independents, and they get the crossover people from the right. So we want all the voters. But the Democratic establishment, they are the TFGs as well. So one contingent of TFGs is, like I said, the people who are totally drunk on the far-right media. Fine, fair enough. But another contingent of TFGs are the Democratic establishment. And the reason for them being TFGs is different. The reason for them being TFGs is corruption. Some of them are actually ideologically neoliberal. You know, they actually believe in that philosophy. But I think most of them are they're just corrupted and beat down by the system. And so they think, what do you mean? Business as usual is business as usual. We're never going to change it. So the Democratic establishment, they're deep, committed corporatists. And you know who doesn't like Bernie Sanders and who Bernie Sanders doesn't like right back? Some corrupt corporatists. Some establishment neoliberals. So my main point here is we're going after all the voters who are gettable, all of them. We're not ruling you out. There's so few people who we actually rule out. Like, yes, frothing at the mouth racists are not going to support Bernie Sanders. Got it. But like everybody who's gettable, we're trying to get when it comes to the voters. But this idea that, oh, he needs the Democratic establishment. Nobody needs the establishment. Nobody likes the establishment. Nobody needs the establishment. They're a paper tiger propped up by money from Wall Street, propped up by money from the military-industrial complex, propped up by money from the for-profit health insurance companies and big pharma. They're a complete paper tiger. So no, I don't need Neera Tanden. No, I don't need, the dinosaurs who've been in Democratic politics forever and have gotten Dickie McGee's acts accomplished. I'm not interested in them. So we don't need the establishment, guys. We just don't. And I think that's a really important point. And that's not a point that's made enough. Like here, MSNBC is saying, oh, he's going to need the establishment. No, he doesn't. In order to win, you need to make clear the establishment is your enemy. And that's what he's doing. The Republican establishment, the Democratic establishment. You are my enemy. The Republican voter, the Democratic voter, the non-voter, the independent, the apathetic, you're not my enemy. I want you on my side, and we're going to do everything we can to earn your vote. So, guys, don't conflate the two things. Don't throw out there, oh, Democratic centrists or moderates or conservatives. Don't say that and think that that also includes the establishment. The establishment is its own thing. You refer to the establishment as establishment or elitists or corporatists. Those are the people we're never going to get, and we don't want because we don't like them either. They disagree with us. What are we going to do? But everybody else who we can get to come to our agenda, who are voters, I don't care whether they're centrist, moderate, whatever you describe yourself as, I don't care. Come join, baby. Let's do this thing. Because what this movement is about at the end of the day is improving lives. Fixing the country, improving lives. We want to help fix your life. Medicare for all. Healthcare free at the point of service. You save money overall. You get rid of all the private taxes, raise the public taxes, but the raising of public taxes is a lot less than what you're paying right now for private taxes. It saves you money. It's a tax cut. Medicare for all, free college, living wage, end the wars, Green New Deal, end the drug war. Abolish student loan debt, abolish medical debt, free all the nonviolent drug offenders. Now, Bernie just today released an awesome free childcare plan. And before you go, how are you going to pay for it? A tax on billionaires. Next question. Free childcare. Other developed countries have free childcare. Again, this is just Bernie saying, let's catch up to the rest of the developed world. That's it. That's all he's saying. Let's go, man. Let's win this thing. We don't need the establishment. We need the people. And we're going to get the people. We're going to earn their vote. We're going to win this thing, and it's going to be glorious.